Hey everybody, this is Mike with On Point Preparedness. This is going to be an informal video, yet it deals with an incredibly critical piece of news that was shared about 2 to 3 days ago. And to me, this is an incredible marker of the end times. North Korea wants to ardently or enthusiastically welcome Pope Francis. Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for the past couple years, you'll know that in prior years I've had a heavy focus on exposing Pope Francis and the Roman Catholic religion. Now, this is not to, really shame or shun people that are Roman Catholic and watching this video. I myself was Roman Catholic, pretty much raised from birth all the way up through college. Every single piece of schooling that I ever went to, preschool through college, was Catholic. And I came out of that once I actually started to read the Bible for myself and see all the doctrinal contradictions that the Roman Catholic faith has. So if you are Roman Catholic, please know that I am just imploring you to come out of this system. But anyways, to this news article, this is amazing because North Korea is one of the hardest to access countries in the world. It's not the hardest, but it's one of the most hard countries to get access to. And here again, we see Pope Francis getting welcomed by the North Korean president. Now, basically what's going to happen is North Korea is writing an official letter to welcome Pope Francis to North Korea and visit them there. The South Korean president or ambassador is going to go to the Vatican and personally deliver this note, and then the Vatican will make its disposition afterwards. But again, this is absolutely huge. And I didn't want to just have this video be simply on North Korea welcoming Pope Francis. I checked this article here, and I found it interesting. The hardest countries to travel to, and North Korea isn't the worst, but here's what's so interesting. I looked up all these different countries. Again, the hardest countries to travel to or access in the world. So North Korea is definitely in there. Pope Francis is being welcomed there. Well, let's look at what happened in the recent years as well. January 26, 2016, Pope Francis welcomes the Iranian president for a historic meeting. Let's go back ahead and look at that map. Oh, look at there. Hardest countries to travel to in the world. There's Iran. All right, what else did I find here? Pope Francis meets with Saudi Arabian representative in the Vatican. Let's go back and look at that map there. Well, hey, look, there's Saudi Arabia. All right, what about the next thing I found? New ambassador from Angola presents credentials to Pope Francis. Angola? Let's see. Where's Angola? There it is. There's Angola. What else do I got here? Pope Francis singles out good news about Ethiopia and Eritrea, if I pronounce that right, conflict. So Eritrea is also on there. There you go. He's inserting himself into a conflict between these two nations and trying to slither his way in there. What else I got? Got a couple more articles here. Pope Francis was looking for dialogue with China. But down here, you'll see that, what is it? Is it Bhutan? These are some of the countries that the Vatican does not have diplomatic relations with. North Korea, Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, Bhutan. So I think Bhutan is in there. Yep, there it is. So there he is trying to get into that country as well. And lastly, let's see, another one from Crux here. Turkmenistan. So he is trying to get into Turkmenistan as well. Again, another hardest country to travel to in the world. And I didn't do this last one, but you get the picture, right? And to give you even a more broad picture, a 10,000-foot view, if you will, let's look at this straight from the Vatican Press. This is on August 1st, 2018, so very recent. There are currently 183 nation-states that have diplomatic relations with the Vatican. How many countries are in the world? 195. So there are only 12 countries left. And just for these ones that you've seen, the hardest to travel to in the world, you can see the Vatican and the Pope are trying to gain access and put their ambassadors in here so that they can influence. Now, a lot of people are saying Pope Francis is the false prophet. Some people say he's the Antichrist. I need to look back at the biblical definition of the false prophet, but I could see him, befitting that term. But really what I've been using more often than not, and a lot of my regular subscribers will know this, and if you're new, I think you'll find the term pretty well represents what Pope Francis is doing. I say that he is John the Baptist of the Antichrist. He's the anti-John the Baptist. He's going throughout every single country of the world trying to establish a presence. He's Time Magazine Person of the Year. Basically, the media loves him. Everyone loves him. Even different world religions and how they're all coming together. They're acknowledging him as pretty much the world authority for spiritual and moral issues. Now, he's definitely not. He is not a godly man. He is antichrist in nature, and any good Christian should know that. But this is whom the world is setting up to be the moral and spiritual authority. And he's going to be the mouthpiece. And so he's paving the way, just like a John the Baptist would, but he's doing it for the Antichrist. And I'll tell you what, when things really start to go down, there's going to be a lot of chaos. When the Antichrist arrives on the scene, there's going to be a lot of signs and wonders and things that I think we're not going to be able to explain in terms of rational physics. Again, signs and wonders. People are naturally going to want to hear from a spiritual or moral authority on these matters, and this is the guy. This is the guy that all eyes are going to be on, and you better believe that he's going to have an international mouthpiece to talk about how we need to be accepting of whatever this entity is. I couldn't be more convicted in my heart to know that this is the dude that is going to really be the mouthpiece for the Antichrist. Call him false prophet, call him John the Baptist of the Antichrist, whatever you want to call him. All eyes should be on this guy. And again, they're worldwide now. And you really don't have a similar figure in the Jewish nation state. You don't have a similar figure in Islam. And again, those being the Abrahamic faith, the biggest world religions, you simply don't have a figure like Pope Francis. You just don't. He is the guy that is known worldwide, and he is the one with the most publicity, and the most charisma in terms of worldly views, and he's the guy. He's the one that is going to usher in this Antichrist or beast system, and we can't lose sight of that. I know he was the focus of attention a lot back in 2015. Especially with a lot of things around September 23rd, 2015, and him coming to the Capitol and everything, but I have not lost my sight on this man. And I think that, he's going to have some big waves. He's going to cause some big waves throughout this year and the next. But again, this is a critical juncture for end times events. Just seeing how he's penetrated almost every single country around the world, and is essentially setting up this network, this Antichrist spiritual network. Anywho, hope you all enjoyed the last video. That took me quite a few days to put together, but I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. At least I hope you did. I'm going to put in a couple more videos that are going to be a little bit more informal, because there's a lot that I need to say, and not a whole lot of time to do it. But I'll see you all in the next video. This is Mike with On Point Preparedness. God bless everybody.